Peter uses two adjectives to qualify the noun scattered ones. The first adjective that he uses is the word translated in English, elect. It literally means chosen. So these scattered ones are chosen seed. It's like select seed. When we sow in the garden, we don't sow just any seed. We sow chosen seed, depending on what harvest we want to reap. And God, and the recipients of this letter are chosen seed, elect, scattered ones, sown broadly among the regions, provinces of Asia Minor. The second adjective is the word exiles. And the adjective exile here means sojourner or temporary resident or resident alien. So the readers are to understand their time and their place in their province of Asia Minor as a time in which they have been planted, scattered as seed, chosen by God, and that they are to live there as temporary residents, as resident aliens, not as citizens who have rights, not as businessmen that have prestige, but first and foremost as temporary residents sown there by God to reap a harvest that is for eternity. And so the opening verse could be read, to those sown as seed, chosen seed, throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. The Christ followers Peter writes to are to consider themselves as chosen by God as a life-giving seed sown, that is, scattered throughout the region for the purpose of making Christ known. Comes right out of the example in the book of Acts. There were the apostles, the ones that were sent by God to proclaim the message. But in the book of Acts, there were also the scattered ones, those that were scattered throughout Judea and Samaria, and everywhere they went, they sowed the seed of the gospel. Listen to Acts chapter 8 as I read and exemplify this very thing. Acts chapter 8. On that day, on the day of the stoning of Stephen, a great persecution broke out against the church in Jerusalem. And all except the apostles, all except the sent ones, were scattered throughout Judea and Samaria. The sent ones stayed in Jerusalem. Everyone else was scattered throughout Judea and Samaria. God was moving his chosen, his select, his broadcasting his seed, his people to all Judea and Samaria for the purpose of making Christ known. Verse 4 of Acts chapter 8 says, those who had been scattered preached the word wherever they went. And then they give the example of Philip. Philip went down to the city of Samaria and proclaimed the Christ there. God is sovereign over your time and your place. And he intends that we use this time of sheltering in place for the sake of the gospel. We are scattered throughout the Quad Cities. We are chosen by God to live as temporary residents among the lost of Scott County, Henry County, Rock Island County, and everywhere that we are scattered, we should be praying that we bear fruit as the Spirit-empowered witnesses for Christ. Sent like Peter or scattered like the first century readers, we are all witnesses for Christ. COVID-19 has not robbed God of his greatest instrument, his people, in making known Christ. He's not surprised by this pandemic. Sheltering in place seems like it puts limitations on us, but it really, truly, in God's eyes, provides an opportunity for us to connect with our families, to connect with our neighbors in a divinely provided, appointed moment. Seize the opportunity.